They say it never rains in Southern California, but it's pouring in the Bay.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Black Spectrum Network's The Secret Services Celebrity Psychic Readings. I'm going to be your reader for today, Quintaria Shakir. Please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com and purchase a private psychic reading. Please go to my Patreon. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network, where you can get exclusive psychic readings from me. That are about the Black community, about issues in the Black community, about issues in the world, about Black thought leaders, just all types of amazing readings. And just for $2 a month, you can get readings that are not available on my YouTube a week early. All right. Now, with that being said, we're just going to go right into this reading. There's no personality reading here. It is called, I think it's called El Chisme, El Chisme, the tea El Chisme with celestial seasonings. So that means that I just get right into it. No personality readings, straight to the heart and tough questions. So I'm going to shuffle my cards and then I'm going to lay them out and then I'm going to ask the questions. 1 second. Okay, so my first question is: Does Loni Love really like the women on the real, or is she just on there for a chick? Okay, I get the card for strength. I get the card for happiness. I get the card for the Queen of Cups. This is saying to me that Loni Love is actually pretty sad. Like, she actually likes the women on the show. And it's not just for a check. Like, she's actually grown. Like, she actually has a very sincere heart. I get that Loni Love is just like she's actually like a geyser of just positive energy. She can get annoyed. Like, now, don't get me wrong, she does get annoyed with the women on the real, but she gets annoyed with them because she feels like they don't keep it real all the time, and she tries to push them toward, like, more towards the truth. She feels like the women on the show, she feels, I think specifically with like I want to say, like, Adrienne, I don't watch The Real, okay? I feel like with Adrienne Bailon and Tamara, I feel like she's always trying to, like, magnetize them towards the reality of things, getting them out of a conservative mindset and more into, you know, the more secular side of life. With the card for strength, is saying that she dominates on the show. She's the core of the group. She's the glue. She's the nucleus. She holds it together. The card for happiness and the Queen of Cups is saying to me that she's pretty much like the queen bee. She's like the master orchestrator. She's very cool, cool-headed, and she tries her best to mediate. Her best to mediate the arguments in the group. So they look up to her as a big sister, and it's not just for a check. She actually enjoys their company. Okay, so the next question that I asked was, why do Tia and Tamara not follow each other on Instagram? The way that the cards are showing up, they're saying that they don't need to follow one another on Instagram. There's no beef there between them about why they don't follow each other. Oh, let me get this off here. Oh, make sure to get this book, Racism Without Racists, because there are a lot of people that are, I'm firmly aware that I have people on my channel that are not allies to the African diaspora, but if you're not an ally to the African diaspora, or if you're not part of the African diaspora and you think you're an ally, read this book, Racism Without Races. Make sure you're not. But the love card, the pleasure card, the Knight of Cups, these cards are speaking specifically about Tia and Tamara having a deep affection for one another. I think that there's some speculation that they may not be following one another over a man, or something like that, but they're not following one another just because that's just not who they are, so to speak. It's like they talk to each other all the time, and there's no reason to follow one another on Instagram when they pretty much select the best photos that the other should post on their Instagram, is how I hear it, which is the card for pleasure. But the card for love is talking about romance. It usually talks about romance, but in this particular situation, I'm hearing about it being romance towards this man. So there's speculation. I guess that there's some speculation that they're not seeing eye to eye over like a husband or something, that one may not like the other's husband, which is not true. And the fact of the matter is that they have a very loving relationship. They don't follow one another on Instagram because they're overly involved in one another's lives. And you'd be very much surprised at the amount of influence that who is this? I guess Tia is the one that's on the show, or is it Tamara? I don't know, but whichever one is on the show is very much influenced by the one that's not on the show. Okay. All right. So my next question is, what happened with Tamar's firing from the show? Spirit says that her firing was orchestrated from the top down. She had no control over the firing, and she knew that it was coming. She had known for some time. She actually knew before the other women knew, but when the other women were privy to it, they pretended they didn't know. So that just caused a further rift between them. I don't get that they particularly got along, and I am going to pull some more cards on this, don't worry. But the card for sorrow, the card for futility, and the card for virtue, these three cards are sitting here. These three cards are telling me that Tamar was done from the start. I don't think that the production wanted to work with her like that. I think that they thought she was a big draw for the show. And once they had a very solid fan base, and they knew that they were going to get renewed for another season, they also knew that they could acquire good celebrities to get interviewed on the show. And I'm hearing that Tamar's, like, there were some people that didn't want to come onto the show because of Tamar. With that being said, Tamar knew that this was coming before the other women knew that this was coming. I think Tamar knew that her role on this show was always supposed to be temporary, and the production never felt like she was. They made her feel as though she was critically important to the show, but that was only to get her to. She's a talk show host, so it's a type of performing. So if you make her feel like she's the queen, she's gonna perform better. If you tell her she's not the queen, she's not gonna perform at the level that you want her to. So it was a formula that the production felt could work with her, and they also felt that they also said to themselves, if we got rid of Tamar, we also know how to bring on special guests, and we also know which business deals to submit to make sure that we're syndicated more widely once we get rid of her. Okay, so hold on one second as I pull more cards. These cards don't look good. I get the card for domination, the card for worry, the Princess of Wands, and Tamar's a Princess of Wands. This is saying that Tamar was new to the talk show industry. She was new to the talk show game. The television and entertainment industry is cutthroat in a way that the music industry wasn't. It was easy for her to transition into from music. From background singing to lead singing. Or solo singing, and then into becoming the part of a talk show entourage. She thought she could just saltier her way into this group and just completely dominate. But when she but this is what isolated her from the rest of the group. She wasn't really cool. I don't think that she was cool with Loni Love. I think that her and Loni have like a cat. It's like a cat, and then it's like water. It's like cats don't like water. It's just if Tamar is the cat and Loni is the water, it's just Tamar would never dive that deep into Loni. She would never hang around her. She doesn't think that Loni is particularly attractive, and she also thinks that Loni is kind of sloppy, like a slob. That's how she feels about her. With that being said, the fact that she couldn't get along well with Loni and everyone else like Loni was what caused for the rest of the women in the group to not support Tamar or not to really come to her defense when she had to be let go from the show. Tamar was always worried about the division in the group, but she would try to exert more of her dominance to feel like she was relevant and necessary to the show continuing to thrive. So with all that being said, I feel as though she was done from the beginning, and the production let her go to humble her. But they never had intentions of keeping her on the show anyway. All right, so the next question that I have is, does Tamar's husband abuse her? I get the card for the star. I get the card for interference. I get the card for power. This is saying that he limits her success. He does sabotage her. This is also saying that she is childish, and she does want to do things her own way without giving him his proper respect. Like he the respect in the sense he has great foresight, and he's an awesome manager when it comes to spotting talent and making sure that you acquire exposure. He will leverage the hell out of a deal for you. But the star card is the star, and the interference and the power card is saying that he's interfered with her success and her superstardom. I feel that he played a role in her not being on the real. I feel like he did it to spite her because he wanted her to be more involved at home as a mother. As far as physical abuse, give me 1 second. He definitely has in the past, and he stopped once it came to light. I get the card for change, the Princess of Swords, and the Sun. This is saying that, his behavior towards Tamar has changed. He may not be as physically and verbally violent because he doesn't want that information to become public, but he definitely has a hidden side of himself. With the Queen of Swords is saying that he had to make these necessary changes because too many rumors were coming out, and these rumors were true. So with that being said, the Queen of Swords is saying that she has to present herself as a bitch. She has to present herself as though she's in control of her relationship, that he never does anything wrong to her, that he's such a good man, and that he depends on her just as much as she depends on him. I do not watch Tamar and Vince. I do not watch Braxton Family Values. Do not jump in my comments. If you don't believe me, I predicted all of Basketball Wives 2 weeks before the show even aired. I predicted the entire season, so I don't watch these shows like that. With that being said, I get the card for change, the Queen of Swords, and the Sun. The arithmetic of these three cards are saying that his behavior has changed since the rumors have come out and they've come forth, and he's shown light on it. And he also has told Tamar that she needs to appear as though she runs the relationship, or that she has more power in it than she does. I'm hearing also as far as the editing goes for their show on Braxton Family Values, I hear that she can't completely hide the fact that these allegations are true, and she tries her damnedest to control the narrative by presenting herself as though she has more power in the relationship than she does. The next question that I want to ask is, does Adrienne Byline feel bad for Rob Kardashian? I get the card for the Lovers. I get the card for the Black Hole. I get the card for the Princess of Discs. This is saying that Adrienne Byline secretly cackles and stirs her teacup, and she sits with her legs crossed, and she scrolls through her Instagram and just cackles, just completely just cackles. The lover's card is speaking about Rob Kardashian getting cheated on by Blac Chyna. Now, I am hip enough to know that she fucked Rob, got the baby, and secured the bag. Shout outs to the black community. But with that being said, the black hole is like, period. Like, she laughs at him getting cheated on, period, but she's consistently inconsistent as a princess of disc and keeping up with him. No, she doesn't feel bad for him. There's a witch's cackle. Like, she tosses her head back out, like the back of her head touches her back. Like, that's how far back she throws her head, and she laughs with a very haughty sort of thing. And she gets her life. And Spirit is like, period, the end. But the princess of dis is talking about she doesn't keep up with him like that. She doesn't really care. But when the beef is brought to her door, she's like, bitch, let's eat. Okay, I gotta reshuffle and then I'm gonna start closing out the video. Hold on one second. Okay, so the next question I'm about to ask is again about Adrienne Byline and Rob Kardashian. I want to know why they broke up. I really don't care, but I know y'all gonna care. They broke up. They broke up because they were both different. Not Jeannie. Adrienne Byline wanted to have a music career. She wanted to re-explore music or do music again. She also wanted to get back out there in entertainment. She wanted to promote herself and put herself out there. I don't think that Rob Kardashian was supportive of that. Him as a Knight of Dis is talking about him keeping his business deal separate from her, and him cutting her off when she just asks for too much. I don't think that I think that Blac Chyna got a much better treatment in the 2 months that she was with him, or the 2 days or 2 hours, however long she was with him. During that time, Blac Chyna was treated much better by Rob Kardashian than he treated Adrienne Byline. So let's put it in I'll put it in that perspective for you all that keep up with this mess. So the Knight of Disc is speaking. The Knight of Disc in the card for Virtue are speaking about they both wanted the relationship to work, but because of differences between them, she wanted to go into the creative world. She wanted to be supported by it. He wanted to keep everything separate. I don't think that he was as into her as she was into him. I don't even think that he had intentions on marrying her, but I mean, they just had to just amicably end the relationship. She saw that it was going nowhere, and she didn't want to let it go because of the exposure that being with him was bringing. My next question is, will Jeannie Mai remarry or have kids in her next relationship? Spirit is saying that right now they're very simple. They're like, she's too stubborn when it comes to dating. She's definitely like stuck in some ways. And she's not ready to grow up just yet. She's very like about herself. She's not wanting to date. She doesn't want to get out. She doesn't want to put herself out there like that. As a matter of fact, the only thing that she's focused on is her entertainment career. That's it. It's like entertainment, stubbornness, the end, period. So I don't know if she will get remarried or if she will have children in her next marriage, because I feel almost as though she may adopt. I feel like she may marry in her 40s. And I feel like she's just going to date around. I do think that Jeannie Mai will, I do think that she will be able to parlay, herself from the real and into another avenue. I hear that she may host red carpet events, or she may be the host of like American Idol or something. I don't know. But she will be able to go go further in her entertainment career. So this won't be the last that we hear of her from The Real. This is also not the highest that she will go, and she knows this. And because of that, I don't think that she's met her empire partner, the person that's going to help her to build up her career further than even further than they're going to help her to build up her career with more with they're going to build her career and turn it from, you know, this individual 3-bedroom house into a fortress. So she's on this quest for she's just on a quest to making more money. She wants to have at least a $15 million net worth before she's trying to settle down again, because she wants to make sure that a man is not getting with her for money and that she's not doing it for money. She wants to be a clear pathway where it's just nothing but love. The next question that I have is, what's Tamar's relationship like with the rest of these women on the show? I get the card for adjustment, the card for the Princess of Dis, and the card for the Princess of Cups. These cards are just like, Tamar walked away from this, and it's like, as a Princess of Dis, she came here. Okay, this is saying that she came in and she was attached to them. She was like, look, I'm about that chick. Okay, I'm gonna be your friend because I'm about that chick. She went out to eat with these girls. She bonded with them. She tried to turn it into a little sisterhood, but she was like, these bitches ain't the Braxtons, so I'm gonna keep them at a distance. Maybe Tamara or Tia or whoever it is on the show, that one she was cool with, but she's not. The card for adjustment is like, no. As soon as they fired her, she went from the Princess of Dis to the Princess of Cups. She went from, oh, I'm about that chick, you know we sisters, to fuck you, bitch. And so, with that being said, she don't deal with them. Tamar knows her place. They were quite shocked to know that Tamar didn't really fuck with them like that. Except Loni Love. I know I'm laughing, but the spirit is like giving me a lot right now. Okay, so because I'm about to run out of time on this memory card. Okay, so Loni Love knew that Tamar didn't really care for her like that and that she was faking it. Loni Love was like, I'd been knowing, and I was just playing cordial. It's whatever. Jeannie Mai, Tamar and Jeannie, they were cool, but there was just a lot of distance. Like Jeannie felt that Tamar was like really hot-headed and just very emotional. Jeannie felt like Tamar was like a good girl. She could be a good friend, but she's definitely like going through a lot all the time, and she just holds it in. With Tamara or Tia, they were cool. She definitely didn't like Loni. And Adrienne Bailon, she just thought Adrienne was a kiss ass, and she felt like, I don't watch this show, but she felt like Adrienne kissed everybody's ass. She felt like she was trying to be a baby Loni. And she felt like Adrienne just went, she went wherever, like, she's like, you go with the flow. Like, you try to have your opinion, but your opinion is weak. And then when there's a stronger opinion, you latch onto it, say, I agree with that. You try to find something in it and you don't really believe it. Girl, you fake. That's how I hear Tamar trying to treat the relationships, but no, that she don't have a relationship with none of the women. If anyone she could have a decent texting happy birthday girl relationship with, it'd be Tia/Tamara Mowry. I don't know which one it was, but as soon as she got fired, Tamar snapped into who she really was and said, we're gonna let it go. All right, so what's next for the show? They're going to continue thriving. This show is not going to be off the air for a minute. The show is going to be on the air for at least another 3 years. They're going to continue thriving. They're not looking for a new co-host, and actually, I think that they will acquire a new co-host sometime next year. I think they're not looking right now, but they will acquire one next year, and that is going to further catapult them into this very eclectic, multicultural, passive aggressive women genre. Like, I feel like that's who watches their show. People that rock, people that get master's degrees in the humanities. Like, I got a master's degree in women's studies, and I wear a Singhalese twist, and I got a nose ring. I feel like those types of people watch this show. They will further try to capitalize on this Tumblr-esque culture and trying to capture their audience's attention. And the card for abundance is obviously talking about, hey, they got more success coming coming for them. The devil card is speaking about them. Basically, the devil card is actually saying they're abundant. They're acquiring this abundance by staying away from vice behavior. So letting Tamar go was the best thing that could have happened to the show, because it helped to rebrand them and it reestablished their integrity amongst the talk show community. Because Tamar was bringing the show's brand down. I mean, it's just I'm just regurgitating from their market research studies that they're not going to speak to you about. And the success card is speaking about them just having a lot of tremendous success. Like, all the women will be successful from here moving forward, especially Jeannie Mai. I think she's got a ton of opportunities coming for her. And I think that Loni Love may do some guest appearances on a couple of TV shows. I wouldn't be surprised if she's on like Saints and Sinners or some own network show where she just gets like a small cameo. But I do have a feeling that Marc will do something with the women on the Real for some reason. And perhaps I'm just saying that because Marc worked with the women on the Real for season 3 of Being Mary Jane, but I hear Marc in my ears. With that said, please go to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com to purchase a private psychic reading. Please go to patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network, where you can get exclusive psychic readings that are not available on my YouTube. And please let me know what other psychic readings that you would like to see on my channel or on my page. With all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for the tremendous amount of support that you've given to me. All right, bye.
It's been a long time, but I still got love for you, and that won't ever change. San Jose. They say it never rains in Southern California, but it's pouring in the Bay. San Jose. Girl, I know we tried to tell ourselves those lies.